I don't understand why prices at the grocery store keep going up.
The UK is finished in my eyes. It is finished.
This cost of living, when I didn't ask to be here?
This comes to a total of nearly £70, and then they want to charge me 30p a bag.
Is anyone else finding the cost of living in England absolutely astronomical?
If you're under 35 and live in the UK, here's my advice. Get the fuck out of this country.
Income tax, capital gains tax, NHS tax. Bro, you just have a million taxes. How is anyone affording to actually live in the UK?
Welcome to the UK, where rent's a joke, groceries are gold, and heating is a wild dream. Even breathing might be taxed soon. If you enjoy real-life financial horror stories, hit subscribe and brace yourself.
Oh, it's so cold in here. Don't you dare! Do you want to go to prison? Do you want to get done? What now, Dad? Well, don't act as if you don't know. Sleep tax. Have you not been keeping up with the news? No. We get charged for every night we sleep. Is this some kind of joke? So keep your eyes open. I literally can't do anything anymore, can I? Whoa, stop right there. I wouldn't if I was you. Oh, let me guess. Opening door tax. No, don't be silly. It's walking tax. Every step outside your own home is 50p. So what's next? Breathing tax? Ash! Don't give them any ideas. I think they're watching.
How is anyone affording to actually live in the UK? How are you managing financially? Council tax, insurance tax, income tax, capital gains tax, NHS tax. Bro, you just have a million taxes, and then they're going to start charging tax on the tax you pay so you can later pay more tax. Bro, I can't fathom it. How are people surviving in the UK, let alone thriving, when you just got constant payments you got to make? And bear in mind, that's excluding your standard like rent and your bills and your food and what you need for actual survival. It's like, bro, we're all paying this extortionate amount of money for what? For the services that are terrible. I can't even go see my GP within a 3-week period if I wanted to. And then this is our standard weather where it's just great. It's like, bro, thank God. I'm so blessed. I'm so grateful that I'm in a position financially where I can afford to maintain all these ridiculous payments that I gotta be making. But it's like, bro, for the average working class person, bro, I feel for you, because how are you surviving, bro? I'd genuinely be out here on the streets with the regular 9-to-5 income, like struggling to even eat if it was all of these expenses stacking up and I had a regular wage. I don't even know what I'm spending money on. But yeah, right now it's looking really appealing. Like, I really understand why people are just selling everything they have and moving to Asia, because it's just less stress. You're not getting threatened from HMRC and random institutions every other week for payments that you didn't know you had to make. It's like, bro, like, I'm actually sick and tired of it. Like, I'm one bill away from just getting rid of this apartment, selling my car, and just going to Asia, because, like, bro, I've had enough.
If you're under 35 and live in the UK, here's my advice. Get the fuck out of this country. Everyone's saying this on social media now, and there's a reason for that. This country is fucked. And I genuinely can't express how frustrating it is to see my homeland every year go more and more down the shitter. But the reality is, this country is inherently flawed in so many ways, politically, economically and culturally. And it wouldn't be a proper video about Britain if I didn't mention how fucking shit the weather is. We've all started to notice that the weather's getting better, and let's be honest, Britain is great in the summer. But the problem is, this then distracts us from the problems that we have, and it happens every year. We go through this constant cycle of, it's so great in the summer, and then winter comes around again and it's fucking shit. And the summer doesn't change the fact that this country has a huge problem with stagnating wages, a huge problem with inequality, and a huge problem with the cost of living, all of which we've had for years on end and aren't going to get better anytime soon. Not helped by the fact that for the past 15 years, our country has consistently voted in a political party that stand for inequality and the preservation of elites. The lifestyle here just isn't good for your mental health. The majority of Brits hate their job, so we spend most of our time doing something we hate and then blow out on the weekend with a load of booze, because our culture apparently is only centred on booze. Oh, and by the way, that booze, like almost everything in the UK, is taxed excessively, except from if you're a major corporation, because obviously they deserve to pay less tax. And there'll be no revolution when the Labour Party eventually get elected, which brings us to the flaw that nobody wants to talk about, our class system. Our society is still inherently caught up on a class system which we inherited from the fucking Normans. A prime example of which we'll see in a month's time when King Charles gets his coronation and half the country go out to kiss his arse, even though the royal family are just a bunch of rich cunts who've held power for centuries on end, despite doing nothing to earn that. But apparently that's just how it should be. That's just society. Fuck off. So here's my advice. If you are in a fortunate enough position to be able to fund yourself and you don't have the responsibilities to look after people, piss off abroad. There's plenty of better countries out there. And yeah, sure, there are global economic problems at the moment and not every culture is perfect. But the thing is, Britain is particularly fucked at the moment, and it's not going to get better anytime soon. You get one shot at life. When you're on your deathbed, are you really going to look back and think, oh God, I'm so glad that I spent 60 years of my life under the shitty grey clouds of Britain, working in a job that I resent, so that I could save up enough money to buy a new build outside Milton Keynes by the time I was 40. So yeah, land of hope and glory my arse, and if you agree, drop me a follow.
UK is finished. If you're currently living in the UK, you might want to reconsider because it's about to get a whole lot worse. So this graph shows you the standard of living in the UK and it predicts it over the next few years up until 2028. Just take a look at that. This massive drop after 2023 shows how bad it's going to get. The standard of living in the UK is going down the drain. And take a look at this. If you wanted to rent a 1-bedroom flat in suburban London, not even in central London, it will cost you 2.2k per month. Honestly, how can anyone afford this? Because the average salary in the UK per year after tax is 28k. And if you're renting a 1-bedroom flat, you would only have £130 per month left over for everything else. So no wonder so many people are in debt. Taxes are likely to go up, inflation is at an all-time high, and rent prices are unaffordable. There are so many different countries around the world where you can have a good standard of living. So why would you choose to live in the UK? It's already the second most unequal country in the world. Because honestly, if you stay in the UK now, it's just going to get so much worse. And yes, all countries do have their problems. But the way I see it, the UK is finished. And it's not getting better anytime soon. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And if you like the video, follow for more content.
Milking immigrants dry in the UK, and it gets worse. Listen up, the UK just dropped another fee bomb. Last year, they hit us with crazy increases, and now they're back with more in 2025. One of some shocking numbers, the immigration health surcharge is jumping from 624 to 1,350 per year. That's more than double. If you're coming on a skilled worker visa, your employer now has to pay £525 just for your sponsorship certification. That's up from £239. Talk about daylight robbery. The craziest part though is that the government uses this money from immigration to fund public services, including the NHS pay rises. So we are literally paying to keep the country running whilst they make it harder for us to stay. Even the universities are suffering at the moment. They've had to fire staff because international students can't afford to come anymore. Do you think this is fair? Drop your thoughts below. And if you're as angry as I am about these changes, share this video and spread awareness.
Okay, I'm gonna move out the way. Guess how much all this was, yeah? Guess how much? 4 items. Pads and a meal deal. Pads and a meal deal. Let's just guess that. £6.70. Who's paying that? Who is paying that? Me, the absolute fool, the clown. Yeah, £6.70, and that was meant to be what? 6, 7, 8. That would have been £9. £9 British pounds for 4 items. You know that's nearly someone's hourly pay. Like, a few more pounds, a couple more pounds, like 1, 2, 3 more pounds. That's an hour's work gone for sanitary pads and a meal deal for one day. Come on. Like, the UK has actually lost the plot. They've lost the plot. I'm done. I'm finished. And people are coming at me in the comments on my last video saying, oh, the UK is what you make it. Life's what you make it. You know, you can do this. No. We're in a cost of living crisis here. The stuff that we pay for to live is costing way too much. Like, we work to live. We don't work to do anything else but live and survive.
Tell me, yeah, I'm not the only one who spends a fucking fortune on shopping. Last month, we spent £800 on food. Give and take some few little bits for Christmas, but £800 on food. Okay, my husband is a bodybuilder. Maybe that's what he needs to quit, but That's like a wage. If you spend that much money, please let me know, or please let me know in the comments how much you spend on food, just so I can compare to see if I am doing something wrong. Because I can't cope. I don't want to do it anymore. I need to save some pennies. Maybe shopping or not buying as much is the way I'm going to do that. So yeah, please give me a heads up down in the comments what you spend on shopping, and if you think how much I'm spending is absolutely ridiculous as well.
Guys, I am fuming. Why is everything so expensive? Imagine I got 3 carrier bags, which is a lie because Aldi have shrunk their carrier bags, clearly. That was 2 carrier bags worth of stuff, which I had to fit into 3. Imagine.
So for proof, as you can see on the receipt, I got some fresh meat, vegetables, a couple of protein puddings, nothing too mad. Granted, I got some shampoo and conditioner and I'm trying to eat healthy, so the food's fresh, but you want to try and tell me this comes to a total of nearly £70 and then they want to charge me 30p a bag? Nah.
Which is probably only going to last me about a week.
And just for context, I'm going to put it out on the table for you now so you can see.
Are you telling me, yeah, that this looks like £70 worth of food? And this is just my shampoos and conditioners. Let's just cut that out. I've got some salad, 3 packets of rice, meat.
A couple of years ago, this would have come to about £35–40 max. I don't know about you guys, man, but this UK is a struggle. I am unsubscribing and I'm out.
Is anyone else finding the cost of living in England absolutely astronomical? Because, Jesus Christ, I've just come out of Tesco and I've just bought some bits and bobs, basically. I've just filled a bag. And with my club card, it still cost me 74 quid. I've bought salad for dinner, some baguettes, some prawns, conditioner. I did buy some hair dye because, you know, Jesus Christ. I can't think what else I've bought. Just general household bits and bobs. Some more mixer for the dogs. 74 quid. I don't know how people can afford to live much longer with the bills the way they're going up. It's absolutely astronomical. I mean, I earn good money. I do earn good money. But £74 for a bag of shopping is just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Here we are. It's my Sunday afternoon thought for you.
I've been so optimistic and I've been so grateful that I have a job and I can get up and go and buy gas. I can go and buy electricity. Yes, am I thinking about it? Of course, it's in the budget. But when the budget goes from £50 a month to 200, it's hard to keep the gratitude and the gratefulness alive. I slept with no gas yesterday. I slept with no gas because the gas finished and it was cold outside. And I was not going to step outside, go and buy gas for the sake of warmth when I can just layer up. This cost of living, when I didn't ask to be here, hey! Oh. Okay. So what are the people who cannot afford it doing? If those of us who are barely on the cusp, can. What are the people who can't afford? What are they doing? No. Oh, God. Oh, help the poor. And help those suffering, Jesus. Because I can't. I cannot. Hey.
Now, when people ask me if I like London, I would say, yeah, sure, it's okay, it's not that bad. Because my family live here, because I was born here, I am a proud British citizen. However, a few things have happened that made me really thoroughly reconsider whether I actually want to live here or not. something pretty major is the cost of living crisis right now. I remember 5 years ago when I went to Wagamama's, a bowl of chicken ramen would be £9.99, and now it is £14.99 or £15.99. I just want to say that the same increase has not happened with wages. Food is just ridiculously overpriced in London. Like, if you want to have a good day out, you're going to be spending at least £50-60, sometimes more. A coffee at Starbucks is now £4.95 or something like that. It's just crazy. It used to be a meal like 5 years ago. You have all sorts of weird and wacky things happening in London. You've got those phone thieves going around stealing people's phones. You've got absolute nutters throwing chairs down escalators at Westfield. TfL have increased their prices to the point where they're now the most expensive public transportation system on the planet. The weather here is absolutely miserable. It's pretty much rainy, cold, windy all the time. Even in summer, you're lucky to get a sunny day. And then when it is actually summer, you get massive heat waves, which means you just can't sleep in your room, which is optimized for storing and conserving heat, thanks to the way that British houses are designed. Not to mention that in the UK, we pay some of the highest taxes in the world. And depending on how much you earn, you could be paying up to 45% tax. The rich or top 1% are fine because they just funnel their funds outside the UK. The really poor can't afford to pay it, so the middle class get absolutely destroyed. Anyway, those are just a few of the reasons why I think the UK is one of the worst places to live now. If there's any that I missed, please comment down below and add them.
I just came back from grocery shopping, and I don't understand why prices at the grocery store keep going up. Meat, eggs, milk, cereal, everything keeps going up in price. Interest rates have gone down. Carbon tax has been cancelled. Maybe it needs to be cancelled further, Mr. Carney. But for real, why are prices continuously going up? This is not okay. This is not, like, I'm a single mother. I am a single mother. I have 4 children at home right now. I have 1 salary, 1 income. I cannot afford this anymore. This is ridiculous. I mean, I own my house and my mortgage is probably less than many people are paying rent. I don't know how I really don't know how anybody is affording anything these days. It's a problem. It's a problem that needs to be fixed. And unfortunately, during this last election, everyone was so focused on Trump and Trump and Trump and Trump and Trump that they forgot that life here in Canada is becoming ridiculously unaffordable. I really hope that this new government can help fix that somehow.
Living in the UK is such a joke. Why is it that all we do is work, work, work? We go home, we go to bed, but we have little enjoyment time. What is it with this world? Everything fucking costs millions of pounds, literally. It appears to me when I see people abroad, they seem to be happier just living a simple, basic life. But here we're so consumed. We must have a house. We must have a car. We must pay off our mortgage. We must this. We must that. And for what? What then happens at the end? It feels like we are stuck in a rat race. We're just going around that freaking hamster wheel with a rat, with a freaking mouse, constantly chasing the tail. I don't know about anyone else. I'm just exhausted from this bullshit. I'm just exhausted. It feels like from every direction, all we do is get shafted in every possible way. Cost of living is going up. This is expensive. That is expensive. And it's constantly freaking going round in the same fucking circle. Something has to be easier than this shit. Do you ever feel like, you know what, fuck this, I'm out, I'm done, I'm outie, I'm leaving? I once spoke to a guy on holiday who literally was hiring out jet skis, and he said to me when he came to the UK with his wife, because his wife is British and she now lives over there where they live, and he said to me like, oh my god, the life in England is so much harder. Here we literally come to work, we spend time with our family, we get to do things, we're happy, we live very simple lives, but we're together. But here, half the time you feel like you're completely split from your family. You spend time literally with everybody else but your freaking family.
Is the UK becoming too expensive to live? Because for me, I'm this close to selling up and going because it's getting that way. Every single person I speak to, whether they be hardworking people, parents, grandparents, people without a job, people on benefits, every single person is struggling. Yet, at the same time, all of our tax is being sent to here, there and everywhere, pretty much everywhere else other than back into this country to help it grow, to help it become more self-sustainable, etc., etc. There's like 42% of people in this population claim benefits. 7.5 billion just on universal credits to immigrants last year alone. We don't have the money for this. Why is it fair that every single person that was born in this country, that has lived and grown up in this country, worked, paid tax, they're all struggling? They're all struggling. I don't know anyone. We're trying to organise a job. We've got our render it. Oh, I ain't got the money for that. Our builder. Oh, we haven't got the money for that. Everyone's fucked. The prices of materials on jobs up. And then in your home life, the prices of food up. Price of bills up. Rent, mortgage, insurance, road tax, fuel duty, stamp duty. Everything is going up to a rate that is not affordable. And if you have a mortgage right now and you're struggling, be prepared that they will take your house away from you. They will take your belongings away from you if you cannot afford to pay your debts. It's the way they want it to go. They want you to own nothing. They want you to own nothing and they want you to be happy about it. We need to see what's happening here, but this cannot last. The UK is finished in my eyes. It is finished because no one's doing a fucking thing about it. Everyone's just going to work. Yeah, it's okay. I don't mind struggling because, you know, we know what life's all about. Literally, it's all about the 40-hour work week and making my boss happy and, you know, paying that stupid amount of tax. We need to wake up. We need to do something. Our country is being run by fucking idiots who are making you poor and you are suffering because of their consequences and their actions. They're happy spending 12 billion a year on foreign climate aid. They're happy spending billions a year towards net zero. They're happy sending millions and millions in universal credit, spending billions on hotels, on free food, on driving lesson subsidies. But you, the hard-working British taxpayer, you can suffer. And you better not say anything about it because Mr. Starmer will lock you up. What do you reckon? Because to me, I'm this close. I am so close to just packing up my stuff and getting the fuck out of here.
What has happened to the UK? I'm in what was once a thriving Saturday night nightlife town in the middle of England. It is now a ghost town. It's 8 o'clock on a Saturday night in August, and this place used to be rammed as far as the eye could see with people, partiers. There was at least 15 bars and pubs, a few nightclubs, from the blue building that you can see in the background all the way down there. There is nobody out. There's a couple of older couples, a couple of families. But when I say to you, this used to be one of the places in the Midlands to go on a Saturday night out, I'm not exaggerating. Now, yes, times have changed. Prices are higher. A lot of the youngsters don't drink as much. But this used to be this busy on a Sunday night when nothing was open. All the high street is now is betting shops, as you can see there, charity shops. I think there's about 30 Turkish barbers, and that's about it. Where's it all gone? I mean, is your town like this? You know, is this just a anecdotal bit of evidence that is a one-off? But this used to be heaving from about 7 o'clock at night until about 2 or 3 in the morning. Now, I'm not saying it's a good thing or a bad thing, but it definitely is a sign of the times. I haven't seen one person yet that looks like they're on a night out. The bars are closing down. I've heard Revolutions are closing down. I've heard TGI Fridays are closing down. There's just nothing left. Nothing left. So what are youngsters doing now? Are they staying in? Are they teetotal? They're not going out for a night out? I've seen a few videos of people on nights out and they're all sat on the phone. Which is funny because you're sat on your phone watching this. But yeah, this was a once thriving market town. Saturday night. There's barely a soul around. Sign of the times.